win, but more importantly, the Hawks fans want to celebrate Indigenous round, and they have plenty of reason to do that. More on that shortly. The Breakers come to town buoyed by a big win against the Hawks just a few weeks ago, but how far have the Hawks come since then? This matchup might well provide the answer. JaVale McGee against Sam Menenga. More on that very shortly. Matt Russell, Derek Rucker, Brad Rosen and Joe Healy to bring you this one from the Wynn Entertainment Centre in Wollongong. Before we get to that matchup, that mouth-watering matchup, men, how far do you think the Hawks have come since that loss to the Breakers?
Well, I think psychologically, that went out in Perth, a close game. Now, one in which they got a little bit of assistance from the referees, Brad, but nevertheless, they made enough plays down the stretch to win the game. And you can see they look different in the way they're carrying themselves. They look more positive and upbeat.
Can see it from the second we walked into this venue. They're proud, they're home. This venue is absolutely packed. The energy is there. This team is very happy with where they're at the moment.
JaVale McGee, third in the league for points, second for rebounds, first for blocks. But last time he played the Breakers, Sam Menenga had 20 points, including 4 triples and the win. So I tell you what, Sam Menenga comes here on record saying he wants to make a name for himself and taking a big step to doing that already against JaVale.
Well, Sam Menenga's a tough matchup for McGee because of the fact that he's an inside and an outside threat. He can step out, knock down the 3-ball. He's strong, he's athletic, he's smart. But McGee is going to be more imposing and a problem for Menenga as well, just because of his sheer length and size and athleticism. And we look at the battle of the bigs.
Well, I love watching both of these, and they're going to be great. The thing for me is Sam Menenga is only playing 26 minutes a game.
Not enough.
He needs more now, and those numbers will rise. Look at the field goal, look at the rebounds. But that man on the left there, he is MVP quality, no question.
He averaged 7.5 points above 50%. Last start against Brisbane, 27 points on 12 of 19 shooting, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Can he deliver a stats line similar tonight? Parker Jackson Cartwright, the little assassin at the point. Last time against Illawarra, yes, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 17 assists, Derek Rucker. I've got to invite a comment for you on the assist number from PJC last time.
Well, that was a brilliant performance, and he did a great job of hooking his teammates up and putting them in good positions to excel. And look, he's one of the top 5 to 10 players on any given night. But tonight, they need him to be the best player on the basketball court. He needs to score. I expect 20-plus points per game. He needs to get at least 7 assists, and he needs to stay on the floor as much as possible.
Well, I agree with Derek. That's exactly right. He's played very well this year. They just need him to be getting back to the PJC greatness. That's what made him what he's been. They need more shots. I agree with what Derek said.
I've seen Joe Healy speaking with very excited Hawks fans all evening because, Joe, they get a returning star and they get an import on debut.
They do, guys. The energy is up in this arena, and that is because Dave O'Hickey is back on court for the Hawks tonight. He's going to be in the glasses. He's protecting that eye, but we know what he brings. He brings the energy. He brings that scoring prowess that we saw them get them a chip last season, so cannot wait to see him back. And then new import, QJ Peterson as well. He's not a big guy. He's only listed at 6 foot, but he is an out-and-out scorer. He's played all over the world. He's played in China. He's played in Turkey. He knows the opportunities that guards have in the NBL, and he is ready to go for them.
Thank you, Joe. Gentlemen, I was speaking to Justin Tatum just last week, asking him about minutes restrictions. The coach hates them. Good news for Justin Tatum tonight. Neither men are on minutes restrictions this evening. They'll get the floor, they'll play as long as they deserve.
Oh, that is a breath of fresh air, Matty. Can't stand it as well. Love Tatum. He's just a player that understands it. If you are getting ready, if you are dressed, if you are in the white line, you are ready to go.
And I anticipate more of what we saw last season out of the Hawks here. It's a feeling like they're almost back. We know they don't have Sam Froling yet, but they have more bodies, and then they can play up-tempo, high-pressure defense. It's going to be an exciting one, Matty.
Sam's coming, don't worry about that, around Christmas, early in the new year. There is the starting 5 for the Hawks. An unchanged starting 5, meaning Jackson Ball is part of the walk-on 5 again. Wani Swaka-Labullock there, Harvey, Peatling, and McGee, of course, also unchanged despite that collapse in the second half against the Bullets. The Breakers are rolling with PJC, Lopez, Brockington, Baker II, and Menenga. So the scene is set. They will stand and applaud at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. The last time the Hawks were here, they won big against the Brisbane Bullets, 116-89. Your officials tonight, Vaughan Mabry is the crew chief, assisted by James Boyer and Nathan Paff. Both these teams are hunting their third win of the season. The Hawks 2-4, the Breakers 2-7. Who gets win number 3? This Friday night we're underway on the south coast of New South Wales, Australia, where the Hawks welcome to their lineup their new import, QJ Peterson, and the return of Will Davo Hickey. An early whistle as a foul is called straight away.
Well, right away, the Breakers tried to isolate Lopez down on the young ball in the block. He may have had him, but Menenga turned away. Nevertheless, the Breakers were able to draw a foul.
1-3-1 out of this zone. Sorry, out of this baseline ball. Like it. Something different straight away.
Baker found Menenga, guarded by McGee, so he kicks it outside to Brockington. More on the young starter ball in a moment. Menenga lets loose with a 3 successfully.
And even though he wasn't matched up there against McGee, that is the threat that Menenga poses to the Illawarra Hawks when McGee does match up on him.
Dropping the 3 ball at 31% this season. He's upped his attempts, and the shot back at them from ball is off the mark. The 17-year-old who last start against Perth became the youngest ever Hawks debutant. 17 years of age, and he's playing his home country today, New Zealand.
Now, Brad, you look at the matchups right now, and Lopez has a significant size advantage, and already he's caused 2 fouls, and the ball matchup provides him with a little bit more experience, size, and athleticism.
The next star, Lopez, spinning into ball and called for the offensive foul. Ball hit the deck heavily. Bucket waved away. It's an Illawarra possession. Are you surprised the Hawks are starting with Jackson Ball?
Oh, look, at the moment, and there's the, oh, geez, I tell you what, there's a hook, but I'll tell you, maybe a foul there first. But look, Matty, the simple answer is no, because they won. If you ain't broke, don't fix it, so you leave it. But I can't see that being for the whole season, obviously, with Davo, and then you bring in QJ as well. It will change, but now they go inside of the big man. Let him run off him.
The New Zealand under-19 World Cup representative, just 17 years of age, as the Hawks throw it away. Brockington spots Baker, who gets a good look in the corner and duly deposits 3.
Well, that's what he can do, and that's what he really loves to do also, is jack the 3. He's shooting it pretty well this season, Brad. I would like to see him get in the paint a little bit more, as the Hawks have been careless with the basketball early.
Karim Lopez! He might be a next star, but he's a star right now as well.
He's come out ready, Brad.
Look at the length. He goes up with that right arm.
Well, he knows there's several NBA scouts in the house.
Showing his reach and his athleticism. And McGee gets the Hawks going after they spotted the Breakers, an 8-0 start.
Nice post feed there from Swaka Bullock. He has some problems getting the ball into Menenga out in Perth. Looks like they may have solved that one.
Lopez busy to start. Feeling it early in Wollongong.
Well, this is aggressive from Lopez and loving it. This guy, as I said, he's averaging 10 points a game. Each season he's been here, well, it's been 2. He's up with everything, but he's balling tonight, Derek.
The 18-year-old Mexican via Spain.
Yeah.
Spoke about Jackson Ball at 17. Let's underline Karim's age as well, just 18, as Parker Jackson Cartwright is off target. Harvey, the runner off the glass, rebounds for Baker.
Got some good matchups all over the floor. Brockington on Harvey's a good one too.
Brockington got a look and caught the rim.
And he's the interesting one. It was a great pass that he gave to Baker there for the 3 in the corner. And he's one that we looked at in the preseason, and I certainly didn't think he's going to have a fantastic season as Mason misses that 3, but JaVale just gets the rebound. He misses as well.
Then an important touch to knock it back for Tyler Harvey. The Hawks have won their last 4 against New Zealand on this floor, but they won't with ball handling like that.
So how long do you wait? Do you get Davo in early? I think as much as you can, you want to get this guy in. He's been dynamite. he'd be sitting there very anxious to get in the game. It's not a great start from the Hawks. His energy would lift them.
Fit again after an eye injury in the preseason blitz. A nasty injury that necessitates eyewear tonight. You'll see him rocking the goggles and looking pretty good in them as well. Menenga gave that a good look, only to have the ball spin away. Well, here's your answer. He's back. The unofficial Larry Sengstock medalist out of last year's championship series. And listen to the reception.
Dave O'Hickey, a young man that really made great strides last season in that championship series, but in particular, since Justin Tatum has taken over here at Illawarra.
Wonderful piece pre-game about the moment where Matthew Dellavedova handed that Larry Sengstock trophy to Will Hickey. It gets better every time you see it. Utter class from the NBA championship winner and current Sydney King. Bolden gets it done eventually.
Fantastic offensive set there. Tyler Harvey knew that Jonah Bolden had a good switch. He was able to get that switch, get the ball in, and they score two.
Now, I like this double big lineup with Bolden and McGee. I thought it has shown high levels of effectiveness when they've gone to it thus far this season.
Menenga puts a move on McGee, get blew past him. They go through the hands, Brockington to Baker, no score, rebound though, Lopez, strong, what a reach. And that's tough from New Zealand. Menenga on the end of it all, impressive basketball.
And Lopez is out there little kidding people, even though he's only a kid. Huge offensive rebound right here, and does a great job with intelligence to find his teammate Menenga for the and one.
Menenga at the line, but all praise goes to Karim Lopez.
And I like
points on the board, couple of rebounds, Derek.
Sorry, Matty. I like the way New Zealand come out. They've got the right intent. The body language is good, and they're bringing it on the defensive end. They're up the floor pressuring as we see QJ Peterson into the lineup.
More on QJ, the new arrival. As the game unfolds, he fires straight away. He's off the mark.
Why wait, Brad?
Yeah. Great pass.
Ruben Talangi in the corner. Rebound offensively by Menenga, who bangs bodies with Bolden. He's called for the foul. And straight away, Jonas says, challenge that.
Menenga and Lopez are causing real problems early on for the Illawarra Hawks.
Well, that is very interesting. 15-4, they'll call the timeout. They didn't even look to go to the video. And I'm not sure if they're actually going to challenge this, but a timeout has been called.
It's an each-way timeout, Matty.
Tangerine timeout at 15-4. What a start by the Breakers. Here it is again.
Tough angle. We really couldn't see it. We need the reverse angle there to see if Bolden came down on the forearm of Menenga. But despite all of that, Illawarra need to get their energy right.
They won't challenge. Let's hear from Isaiah Brockington. It's an impressive start off the way they collapsed second half against the Bullets.
As they were obviously coming off a tough one, Petrie said after the game it was a game of two halves. What did you guys identify as the problem areas in that second half?
Yeah, so the next day we just came in, watched film. We pretty much just watched the whole second half and, you know, saw where obviously we could have been better on defense, but also where we could have been more intentional on offense about stopping the run on the other end, and just, you know, how we can, you know, move it around, get better shots, and just make the defense work more for their stops.
So they lost to Brisbane by a point, despite leading at one stage, 52-28. Derek, they had 57 points in the first half, 26 in the second. To be beaten, I'll repeat, by a point. It could have gone either way, but the early signs here, first game afterwards, are very good.
Yeah, well, I think they've had 4 losses at New Zealand where they rightfully could have said they won the game, but this is a good response here as they've come out strong.
He went through Peterson and McGee said, let me look after both of you by flushing it.
Well, that's a good set. That's what you want out of a timeout. A nice little play, make sure they get where they need to go, right where they are on the basket, and JaVale knocks it down.
Brockington gets past Harvey. and scores close to the rim.
He loves that action, Brad. He elevates, gets his chest into the defender, and knows he can suspend in the air longer, and finish still.
Joe, what's the feeling in the Breakers bench at the moment?
You guys were just saying they are absolutely fired up and ready for this one. They came to Wollongong knowing what they could do against the Hawks. I spoke to a few of the guys before the game. Sam Menenga said they addressed last week. He's feeling good. He loves playing on the road, and he knows that he can be a key with this matchup. JaVale with the pop there off the pip. And then obviously you just heard from Isaiah Brockington, who's being more aggressive at both ends. The little flex under the basket just there, guys. They're looking good at the moment.
They looked good in round 4, didn't they, against the Hawks? 117-88, so a 29-point win. At the time, it was Justin Tatum's heaviest loss since taking over as an NBL head coach, and they had plenty of providers. Menenga, 20 points. Tarangi, 18 points, but leading the way, Parker Jackson Cartwright, 20 points, and that franchise record, 17 assists.
5.5 minutes played, and there is only one starter on the court, and that's Isaiah Brockington. That's 9 substitutions, teams getting in and out in the first quarter.
Well, their defense is much better, and they're playing with a greater level of intensity, and that's why Illawarra only have 8 points thus far, but they've got 3 turnovers also.
Here's that only starter you talk about. A little fumble. Carlin Davison working on Hickey. Fade away left short. And the foul will be called on the Hawks. Davison to the line for 2.
Yeah, that'll be on Blanchfield. Good crash here by New Zealand. They are only got 3 offensive rebounds at the moment, but they're out playing very, very hard.
The Hawks lost to New Zealand by 29 points. Just a couple of the worrying scorelines that Justin Tatum and his team have had to endure. Obviously beaten by a 40-point loss to South East Melbourne after that. But the way they took down Perth by a point and welcomed a couple of new pieces today had this crowd full of hope here this evening, and staring, though, at a 19-8 deficit. Hickey turns it over. It's stolen by Taylor Britt. So ball handling in this first quarter has been a problem for the Hawks, and stopping the likes of Isaiah Brockington has been another one.
That's the type of play we saw him display in the preseason blitz, where in transition he was unstoppable, as Davo can't get it to drop.
Brockington doing it at both ends, and then he loses the ball.
Well, we see just a little turnover there and a mid shot here from Davo, and here's the Amy replay. Good steal here from Taylor Britt, but Isaiah Brockington, exactly what you said, Derek. That's what we saw pre-season, looking to go the goods. But with Davo, just seems like there's nothing like game minutes, is there, Derek? He's just got to get that feel.
Only the Hawks' 3rd home game of the season so far, after opening with a loss to Tassie, then a big win against Brisbane. The foul called on Davison. And we'll get to see the new import go to the line. Peterson. It allows us to go through his resume briefly. Out of Virginia Military Institute, as you detailed pre-game, Derek. 31-year-old, 6 foot. So you're right, just a bit taller than Brad.
So is
born
everyone.
Hedgeville, West Virginia. Have a listen to the places he's played his hoops. The Czech Republic, Korea, Cyprus, Ukraine, Denmark, Turkey, China, Puerto Rico. He came from the Dominican Republic to join Justin Tatum, but in his last stop in China, he had games where he dropped 11 of 16 threes, Derek, and another one where he had 9 of 12 triples. Now, maybe he's not running into the same level of defense, but still, that's pretty good shot making.
No doubt about that. Anytime you put up big numbers like that, you got to be respected. But as you read off that roll of countries, Brad, there's no doubt when he arrived here, he felt like he got into paradise.
Are you saying there's been a few dodgy joints along the way for QJ Peterson? You love Australia, especially the goal.
Place, Matty, as you know.
Britt misses. Hickey gets the rebound. Hickey providing for Blanchfield. That's a bit of Hawks NBL 25 revisited. Brockington back at you.
Wow, the tempo is up. And Davo Hickey on that previous transition bucket, that's what the Hawks have missed. And that type of play opens it up for Tyler Harvey as QJ.
Oh, there's the bottom of the net. The first of what we suspect will be many threes for Q.J. Peterson. And now Bolden rejects. Full name for the new import, Quentin Level Peterson Jr. He goes by QJ Peterson, but there's Hickey providing for Blanchfield.
And Blanchfield needs an easy bucket. He's been down this season, only shooting at about 29% from the three, so an easy layup in trans will make him feel a lot better about himself in this one.
Jackson Cartwright. And then it's a foul called on Dan Greeder.
Good aggression there by PJC. Just beats his man with the first step to get baseline and set up Davidson. Greeder didn't complain too much after that one. I thought he got it clean, but the referee saw it differently.
Dan Greeder averaging 11 minutes per game. Playing a nice role with a shooting clip of 47% through the games he's played so far, 5 of them. Davidson at the line and making the back end.
He's picked up games this year. He played only 10 games last year, but he's already played 9 this year. He's 5 points a game. That was up from last year, shooting 54%. He's giving them nice minutes.
Had a nice season high, 12 points in round 1 against Brisbane, 6 rebounds in that game. Or in a following game against Brisbane, 4 assists, so he's got some good numbers at handy times. Bolden finishes, fed by Will Hickey.
Davo already having an impact, but he's got to deal with another problem on the other end. Turnover by Parker.
They're running and gunning, and Greeder goes to the backboard. The crowd erupts. Pet Coppinen says, enough is enough. Timeout Breakers.
Welcome back, Davo Hickey. Look at the way he does this. Great pass to Jonah Bolden. No look, and Jonah says thank you very much and welcome back. But what about this one?
Yeah, this is nice here. And this is what they've lacked is at Davo Hickey. He's got great awareness. He's a good passer. And just the energy and the speed and the length, Brad.
You could just feel it.
Let's hear from the new boy, QJ Peterson. We asked him what he knew about Australia and hoops down under before arriving.
What have you sort of known or been exposed to in terms of Australian basketball prior to being out here?
A lot. I mean, I watched a good bit of, Australian basketball just in general, and I love the physicality of it. I love the play style here, the basketball IQ behind players around here, and of course, some of the scoring guards that have come here and have been successful and have won here and things like that. But it's definitely been a great experience so far. Just the days of practice, getting to know guys and everything like that. So I'm excited. So.
He beat Hurricane Melissa out of the Dominican Republic. Can he beat the Breakers on his arrival down under? Well, he's dropped a triple already. Nice energy.
Yeah, well, he's coming in with a very aggressive mindset. And it's interesting, Brad, that he said he saw the scoring guards and probably sees himself in that mold. And obviously the way he's come out here.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
PJC, top of the arc, sends it away and finds the bottom of the net.
He just didn't need to switch that one. He would do a good defense on PJC, and then there was a sort of ghost screen there, and there was no need to switch, and PJC, all he needed was a split second and knocks it down.
His first points of the game behind team high. Sam Menenga with 9 on 3 of 4. Menenga out there to hunt double figures in his first quarter.
That's a beautiful move despite the miss.
Davison forces the foul on Bolden. So inside the final minute of the first quarter, but the Breakers at the line here hunting 30 points for the term.
Yeah, it's too much. And a lot of that has come from Illawarra, who have already got 4 turnovers at the game. And when you're giving them these turnovers and shooting 43%, you're just giving New Zealand pace, and that's what they've been playing with in this first quarter.
Davison needs this free throw for New Zealand to equal their highest scoring first quarter of the season. And he can't make it. They sit on 29. It's a foot foul from Davison.
And New Zealand entered this contest number 9 in offensive rating, but they don't shoot the ball too terribly. And a little bit of confidence could really turn that around, much to the Hawks' demise, because 29 points and counting in this first quarter would not be making Justin Tatum very happy at all.
It's the 3-ball where New Zealand have really struggled. Blanchfield knows his way around a triple, but can't hit there late in the first quarter. So Parker Jackson Cartwright and the Breakers might yet go to their highest first quarter of the season. Lopez started with a bang. Menenga, and the foul there. Jump ball.
And Brad, in the pregame show, I talked about Parker being too unselfish at times.
Yeah, that's the type.
He's got to take the shot right there. He's isolated at the top. He has a perfect opportunity. The clock is in his favor. Create a shot there.
And not only that, and no disrespect, he had Blanchfield as well. He's just not able to stop him in that location.
Possession arrow in favour of Illawarra. QJ Peterson, the well-travelled Peterson Jr. Hickey off the bench after that eye injury, showing some great signs. Early minutes, turnover though, had plagued the Hawks. Jackson Cartwright gives the Breakers their highest first quarter score of the season.
Tough finish, high off the glass. And New Zealand putting it to Illawarra in this first quarter.
Good substitution here. Just take Menenga out. You don't even want him to get any chance of getting a foul. Bringing in Darling here. But the turnovers for Illawarra, that's 5 turnovers. It's just too costly, and pretty much every one of those has allowed New Zealand to get on the rim and count it.
So we have 6-1 on the clock instead of the original 5.5. Will Hickey up the floor, trying to go all the way, catches the wrong part of the backboard, and they come away empty. Brisbane, or the Breakers certainly haven't. Out by 13, badly beaten by Brisbane last start, but starting with a bang in Wollongong on your Friday Night Hoops.
It's time for the Kmart Game Time Selfie Cam. Have you always wanted to be on the big screen? Well, now is your chance. Simply scan the QR code on screen to take over with your own phone camera. Thanks to the Kmart Game Time Selfie Cam.
Scan the code, guys. Get involved. You'll love it all Halloween.
Scan the QR code on screen right now. Get loud for low prices to appear on the big screen. And there is always low prices at Kmart, known for their famously low prices, like this $10 basketball.
Look at that witch.
$10. Oh, Sonny's inside. It's very cool. It's very shocking.
It's very 6'7". I don't know what that means. I just
I
heard
don't
it.
think any of us do, but that's okay. Now, share your
6'7",
reaction to
just do
these
it.
low prices on the big screen by scanning the QR code. All thanks to Kmart. It is the Kmart Game Time Selfie Cam.
Look at the excitement at Q. The Hawkheads. Don't panic, guys. We're still in it.
We're still in it. We can make it back very quickly.
What is he doing? He is sculling the drink. Drink responsibly. Drink
That
responsibly.
was a lemonade, guys. It was a Sprite. Remember, $10 basketballs, famously low prices at Kmart. Thank you to Kmart for our Game Time Selfie Cam. And go the Illawarra Hawks.
Keller and Christian, 6'7".
6'7".
6'7". Please welcome back your Illawarra Hawks.
Quite a time here in Wollongong with the Hawks trailing the Breakers by 13. well. They sense an opportunity tonight with the Hawks rolling out a new look side, and they want to take advantage, push the tempo offensively, and keep the Hawks on the back foot.
Thank you, Joe. Sam Menenga leading all scorers with 9. Isaiah Brockington with 7. Will Hickey back out there, having had 3 assists in his return to an NBL court. Bench points jumped off the page to you, Derek Rucker.
Well, that's right, as Baker lets one go from deep, and Menenga strong on the glass. Lopez, one hand, slam it. Wow. But the bench points are in favor of Illawarra, 12-3. But Brad, one of the keys I said on Coppinen's whiteboard was to get off to a good start. Illawarra starters have only scored 6 points. And they've totally taken this crowd out of the game. Great job by the Breakers.
Peterson Jr. Rebound, he's 5th of the game. McGee, but he can't make it go. Breakers survive another Illawarra possession. Baker loses the ball and has it stripped eventually by Hickey. Harvey back to Hickey. McGee guarded by Menenga. There'll be another good stoush, the two bigs. McGee spins on Menenga. He forces the foul on the breaker.
Now, on both of those post feeds, Brad, Peterson Jr. needs to clear and get out of there because his man just dropped down into McGee's lap and it didn't allow McGee the space to operate. Now, they'll figure that out. I'm sure they're having that discussion right then.
There's actually a second foul called on Karim Lopez. So McGee at the line.
Well, not an area,
game.
yeah, not an area he loves. Let's just put it that way. 22 of 41 coming into the game at 53%. But Derek, you were talking about just New Zealand have just done the little things, shooting 55%. They're out rebounding 13-9, but it's the points off turnovers. 9-2 is really what's a showing factor to me.
And McGee and Harvey are combined -28.
Wow.
So some problems for Illawarra.
And you see now Tatum, he wants to get up the floor. Just feels his team is a little bit listless, Manny. Trying to generate some energy.
They finished on top last year with a 20-9 record, but it's a much different team that's sitting 2-4 currently. And Baker adds to the advantage for New Zealand, 35-19.
Well, it's just poor defense. Everything's at the rim for New Zealand. They haven't had to shoot many from outside, and it's layups either from turnover or just straight there. As another miss here, and watch him go.
Bad matchup.
PJC looking for Lopez. Now, Peterson.
And good toughness and awareness from Lopez. Realized he had a smaller man on him. Ran right to the front of the rim and got that lead pass. I thought he got fouled the first time, but he still stuck with it. And he'll go to the line to shoot too. Peterson will take a spell on the bench.
What about the pass from PJC, though? Just to be able to recognize that early, throw it up. I mean, this guy shooting free throws is an outstanding athlete. Just throw it up there, he'll go get it, Derek.
Lopez, this is his first attempt. No problem with the second. Tyler Harvey managing traffic. Mason Peatling, regular starter for Illawarra to start the season. Greta, tough shot. Breaker in the way. Too many empty possessions for Illawarra. They get a kind rebound courtesy Peatling. The miss from Learfa. He's having a tough shooting season off the back of his struggles at Sydney last year. JaVale McGee.
Hawks offense right now is not real systematic, and I'm not sure how they're going to get good shots.
Jackson Cartwright, another nice pass for Baker to come to Lopez. Jackson Cartwright, 3 more, PJC.
I could feel Derek saying, why were you going to pass that? But he stepped back and shot it. PJC coming to play tonight, but Karim Lopez, this boy is balling. 7 points, 3 of 3. Derek, he is a plus 18 while he's on the court.
He showed a great graphic of PJC, 3 seasons in the NBL pre-game. I'll come back to that after the Amy replay. Here he is, launching the successful 3. In his 3 years, his assists have climbed each season. His points per game have dropped each season. What's the adjustment that you want to see PJC make?
His points per game need to get back up to where they were in his first season, his best season in the competition. The 2 categories are not mutually exclusive. He can score and he can assist at an elite level, and that's what the Breakers need him to do, and what he's showing he can do right here tonight with 8 points and a couple assists in this one.
Matty, I still think it's Derek's fault. He should have had him at 7. Oh, there goes JaVale McGee.
JaVale McGee.
Derek should have him at 7 or 8 in his top 15. That'll put him up.
He's too complacent, you think?
Yeah.
He is venomous, isn't he? Close to the rim. JaVale McGee. Menenga finding Jackson Cartwright, harassed by Wani Swaka-Labullet. And all Wani's defensive smarts. In the end, PJC leaves it short.
Well, he's lucky, Brad, because he got away with what would have been his 3rd foul.
Ooh. Again, McGee takes it on board his own shoulders to help the Hawks out of a hole.
He did that the first time a spin. I think it may have been a couple of weeks ago, and you're thinking, wow, he's got that. That's just automatic for him right now. He's able to dribble the ball up, and a 7-footer that can do that is great for them.
Menenga says, I can score from distance, JaVale.
Well, this is where Menenga, sorry, Derek, this is where he can be great for New Zealand against Illawarra, because JaVale is not going to get out to that, and he's now up to 12 points, 2 or 2 from the 3-point line. 2 or 3, I'm sorry.
Mason Peatling tries the 3 ball.
I really like New Zealand's spacing on the offensive end, and to go with that good spacing, they're making sharp passes and getting the ball to shooters or potential scorers. Right now, they've got 10 assists. The 4 turnovers aren't great at this stage, but it's not bad, as the referees are going to talk this one over.
I've got information changed it, saying that it came off you last. So we got black ball.
Good work from the referees. He did originally call it from white. Then he got information, like he said. We'll just see it clear here. Yep. That looks like off PJC to me.
Ooh. Tyler Harvey. Oh, no good. It almost went in off the attempted rebound.
Well, Harvey 0 of 3 now. Brockington's done a good job, even though he wasn't there on that shot contest. PJC looks to probe.
Here's Isaiah Brockington. At 7 points to quarter time. That one jumps out. And possession goes to Illawarra. Bolden. Called for the travel, although he will argue he was caught in the feet of a defending player.
Well, this is going to be a close one, Matty. He tried to swoop that ball over the top of the smaller defender. I don't think that's a travel.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
I mean, he probably wasn't going to retain possession, but
42-25. Jackson Cartwright with the miss, the most recent bucket, the Menenga triple. Tyler Harvey working on Davison. The trademark Tyler shot is good.
Don't like that matchup for New Zealand. They got to ensure that Brockington gets that matchup.
Oh, Sam Menenga.
I like that
for the
matchup.
first time.
I like that matchup for New Zealand.
Well, Swaka-Labullet caught in a mismatch on the post against Menenga, who was highly skilled. 14 points, 5 rebounds.
That underlines it. The last bucket, a triple, great shooting from outside. Then he muscles up baseline and dunks close range.
Isn't it amazing? You just make that little floater. You just see that go through the hoop. And now Tyler Harvey knocks down the 3. He's up to 7 points.
Tyler Harvey with his first 3-point make of the game. 4 minutes left in the first half. A breather for Menenga.
Not sure it's needed.
Taking his 3-point shooting from 2.5 attempts per game to 2.8 last season. Now 4.5 attempts per game. So he's obviously confident and feeling the three ball.
Well, 2 substitutions there for New Zealand, taking out PJC. We'll just see it's plus 14 at the moment for Breakers. Don't love that they've taken both aggressive scorers out.
Peterson Jr. wants to be an aggressive scorer. His miss knocked out of bounds by Will Hickey.
Brad, I'm never cavalier about having a lead, especially when my team isn't used to sustaining leads or blowing people out. And especially on the road, I think you really have to continue to apply pressure. And right now in this game, the main applicants of the pressure are PJC and Menenga.
That foul called on Rob Lowe off the ball. Will Hickey hit the deck hard. Lowe is frustrated by it. The Hawks are hunting for a momentum changer.
Well,
a moment like that, mate.
Yeah, right now, I'm looking at Rob Lowe on JaVale McGee. That's where I'm looking to go right now. Get it on ball, roll it, let him go to work. I don't think the feet of Rob Lowe can stay with JaVale.
Harvey, tough attempts. Couldn't get his rebounds. Davison. That's a foul. It's called. It's called on QJ Peterson.
And Tyler Harvey protesting that he didn't get a call on the other end. There was some physical hand play as he went on that penetration.
I'll flag it now. We've still got 3 minutes and 20 seconds to play, but the Hawks' lowest scoring first half of the season, 40, seems a fair way away right now. Brockington catches the rim. McGee the rebound. His 7th of the game.
Well, he doesn't mind this position.
Tyler Harvey misses.
He's trying to force it now. They just don't need to do that. That's 3 possessions in a row. They're really just trying to force it. Too much.
The foul will be called on Will Hickey, who's urging, pleading with the bench, we're going to challenge that.
Well, we've seen a thing now. What he does is, when he gets upset, Brad, he's going to take the glasses off. That's a foul.
That's a foul, yeah.
Maybe the glasses were foggy, Derek. We needed one look. I suspect the bench needed the same, because there's no challenge, despite the protestations from Will Hickey. Brockington pull up 2.
And he needed that bucket just to buy some time, and Britt and Harvey going at it.
Hawks are staring at a 20-point first half deficit here. That won't count. 46-30, Derek.
Brad, I've got to go back and get PJC back in the game right now. You got to get this lead out to 20, 22, 23, and really put significant pressure on Illawarra going into the halftime break.
So the thing that interests me now, and you know I love the coach analysis, is this because they were up by so much against Brisbane last time that they're worried that their energy was no good for the second half?
Look,
but waiting may not be the answer.
That was then, this is now.
McGee couldn't tip his own miss in. They are stuck on 30 points. Rip for Davison. Hickey hits the deck, no whistle. Davison scores, it's 18. The Breakers are way out in front.
Scrappy possession, and Davo Hickey throws the ball behind him into the stands, and he's in a lot of trouble here. He'll receive a technical foul. And how many have they called? They've got a flop warning, and now they're clarifying with the Hawks bench. Vaughn Mayberry discussing how many technicals is it going to be, Brad?
That's why I wasn't sure, because he's actually said it twice, but here's what they said. That's the flop warning right there. That's what they've said. And now this ball, you'll see him after the timeout's called, throw it away, and there's the tech right there. You see Vaughn Mayberry. But he just sort of did it twice. And
but after he threw the ball away and was assessed the first technical, he continued to jaw and yap. And that's where I'm wondering, which it didn't show there on the replay, if a second technical foul was blown or whether Vaughn Mayberry was simply repeating that he had blown the first technical.
And Sam Gruggan, the assistant coach, I think went and checked that with the officials and was given the all clear that it is just the one tech on Will Hickey. He was on thin ice.
Well, we've seen this a number of times throughout the season, and now he has to be careful when he's fouling to make sure it's not intentional and not another tech foul, because he can be thrown. But right now, New Zealand, you've got to play it. They were plus 14. They kept their players on. Yeah, you just watch Vaughn Mayberry here. So he calls the one tech right there, but you'll just see he does it a second time here. And that's the thing that Derek and I looked at and thought, wow, is that...
Well, he's done it a third time. I think he's just after their attention on the scorer's bench. There was actually 3 signals.
Yeah, right.
Maybe you got one, Brad.
Well, considering all that transpired, it would not have surprised me and probably would have been warranted if a second technical foul was blown.
Joe Healy, over to you.
The Breakers may be up by 19 points here, but it feels like it's a 1-point difference. This is a hostile environment. I personally am stoked that we've still got 2 quarters to go, because this is potentially an epic.
Great call.
They're not very welcoming, the Wollongong crowd, are they, Joe?
Depends who you are, Matty.
Well, we know Joe loves basketball, and anytime there's hooping going on, she's all about it, as Parker Jackson Cartwright will get back into the game. And Brad, Coach Top proved us wrong, because they went +5 since the moment they pulled out him and Meninga, although I could make the argument you could have been +10.
Yeah.
The Hawks to break this 30-point hoodoo, and it's done just.
Ooh. But we mentioned it, Brad, the offense has never looked fluid in this game yet. We saw signs of it out in Perth, but they quite haven't hit that level yet. It's been a lot of isolation from McGee. Harvey trying to do his thing. They're dropping to a 2-3 zone.
Falls for Parker Jackson Cartwright. His shot is short. Outside for Rob Lowe. They're close to banking a 3.
And I'm surprised there's not more zones across the league. The league is not shooting outstanding basketball from the 3-point line at the moment. And there's a lot of teams that just don't seem to play it. I like it. I like the change-up, and we saw it right there. It helps them get the ball back.
Bolden heavy on his shot. The Hawks spent more than 2.5 minutes stuck on 30 points late in this second quarter. 49-32, Tarangi Lowe given a mountain of time to miss. It falls for Davison, who makes good.
Blanchfield unable to secure that defensive rebound. Fortuitously drops into the hands of Davison, and he finishes it off the glass. New Zealand by 19 late in the second.
Fresh from a 57-point first half against the Bullets. They've got a 51-point half against the Hawks with time left. McGee!
That will be a flop warning as McGee knocks over Lowe and dunks on him.
McGee, 13 points, 8 rebounds for the half. Brockington, little runner. Rebound taken by Bolden. How much can they improve the damage with the final few seconds of this first half? 51-34, a 17-point deficit. A fantastic bounce back by the Breakers after their second half collapse and 1-point loss to Brisbane. Peterson Jr. off the glass, misses, and now Blanchfields couldn't get the shot away.
Oh, bad foul. Bad foul. That is not what you want to do. That's free throws for PJC.
Blanchfield called for the foul. Jackson Cartwright to walk the floor.
New Zealand looking to cap off a very impressive first half, and Coach Coppinen going very conservative, You know, he left Lopez on the bench once he picked up his second foul. But it's worked.
Yeah.
Barring some sort of miracle, this will be the Hawks' lowest scoring first half of the season by 6 points. And the second one falls in.
Now they go to the replay center to see if McGee made any contact with the basketball, because keep in mind, that would be 2 points instead of just the one. I don't think he touched it, Brad.
The angle, it looked like he moved his hands out of the way.
Oh.
It's closer than I thought.
Not a great angle. 1 point.
Yeah. Tyler Harvey, time about to expire on the half. The shot is blocked by Brockington, and the Breakers have come to Wollongong off a horrible loss and said, let's make good, and delivered on their words. 52-34, a commanding halftime advantage, leaving the Hawks with a hell of a lot to do.
Well, Matty, it was all about the defensive end for the New Zealand Breakers, restricting Illawarra to only 34 points here in the Gong on 33% shooting, 20% from the three, Brad.
Amazing half by New Zealand. They've come out here, and you called for it, Derek. Start hard. They did. They've played a great half of basketball.
This man had 14 points and 5 rebounds in the first half, Joe.
He did, Sam Menenga, a great first half for you. It's clear you guys had an emphasis on aggression. The offense is flowing, the defensive intensity is up as well. How did that half feel for you?
Yeah, a lot of fun. You know, securing rebounds, playing with pace, it's our type of game, and we're feeling good.
We know you can't rest on your laurels in the second half. What do you need to do to keep this up?
We need to take it up a notch. You know, we've had bad second halves. You know, last game proves it, and so we need to take it up a notch and show our character.
Good luck for the rest of it. Well, the Breakers are feeling it here in Wollongong, but can they back it up in the second half? Still plenty more to play out. Brad and Derek will talk me through it when we come back.
Turning 65. Happy birthday to you all.
We have a very special performance for you tonight. It is the Illawarra Aboriginal Medical Service dance troupe One Mob. They're going to perform Rainbow Serpent and the Hawk Dance.
Welcome back to the Hungry Jags NBL. It is half-time. It's Indigenous round and the Breakers 52 points are leading the Illawarra Hawks at 34. They've stunned the crowd here in Wollongong, but we still have a lot of basketball to be played. I'm Joe Healy, Brad Rosen and Derek Rucker are with me. Guys, talk me through that first half. What do you see here?
Well, you can see there New Zealand have just been outstanding, but what's amazing is the fact that they are 18 points up. That's the exact same amount they were up against Brisbane when they lost that game. So if you're in there and you're Illawarra, you're saying we're in this game. If you're New Zealand, now you're saying what have we learnt the last time and how do we make sure that doesn't happen again?
I talked about how well they performed on the defensive end. Their intensity was good, the effort was really good, and they stifled Illawarra in that first half. But on the offensive end, I thought they were patient, they executed really well, and they got the ball to their key playmakers most of the possessions.
Their offense was definitely flowing. We're going to take a look at the Hungry Jags halftime highlights now. Sam Menenga, he was fired up for this matchup against JaVale McGee. He enjoyed it last time. He had a great game. Talk me through his first half.
Well, he was one of the highlight ones we spoke about before the game, and we felt he needed more minutes. Derek, we're just seeing this guy go better and better each year. Dare I say it, all NBL first team the way he's playing at the moment.
Well, let's not get carried away. Possibly, but I think that might be a reach, but he's performing very well. He is an outstanding player. But what I like about Sam Menenga is that he's smart. He doesn't force a lot of opportunities. Look at how efficient he is. He's 5 of 8 from the field. He's done a pretty good job on McGee, who he has a significant size disadvantage against. And of course, the important thing is that he's able to stretch the shape of Illawarra's defense by shooting that 3 ball.
What do you want to see from both of these two in terms of this matchup in the second half? Because JaVale McGee, when they get the ball into him, he goes to work. It's working every time. Keep going at it.
Well, if I'm Sam Menenga, I'm still stepping out and shooting that 3 because he's shooting it at a very good clip. For Illawarra, I think they need to get it to him, but if they roll it in, they'll just sag. They need to get the ball from one side to the next, get some movement, then let him go one-on-one, and then he's unstoppable.
Well, this has been Illawarra's problem all season on the offensive end. The inability to figure out how to use JaVale McGee within a system that benefits not only McGee, but his teammates as well. So they have counters in place where they know if McGee gets doubled, they have kickouts and other opportunities to get some of those shooters free. And then also, Brad, the shooters got to knock down shots.
Yeah.
Well, we love what the Breakers are doing at the moment. One man in particular, he's going to be a lottery pick next year, Kareem Lopez. He came out absolutely firing.
Love the way he started. Look at the length, and you just see this, and look at this right arm. Derek mentions there's NBA scouts in the building, and this is what they love to see. He's flowed a game, his defense, he can shoot it from the outside, he's rebounding. This guy's an NBA player, Derek.
Yeah, well, I talked about the fact that New Zealand needed to come out from the start and silence the crowd and establish the emotion of this game. And Lopez was the player who got that done. He showed great effort. He was on the offensive glass. He did a good job defensively. He was using his brilliant physical attributes in the best possible way in that first half.
Plenty more basketball coming up this weekend as well. Tomorrow it is Tassie taking on Cairns, who have lost their last 7. They're going to be hungry. After that, it's Brisbane and Sydney. JA up against the Kings. What are you guys looking forward to?
Oh, I already told you how I feel. Kansas taking an L, and that game in Brisbane is going to be magnificent. Can the Kings find some rhythm and some flow, Brad, and win a basketball game on the road?
I love it, and I can feel Adam Ford just typing Derek Rucker a message saying,
don't make it, it's not personal. Don't make it personal.
I don't know where the Cairns hate comes from, D, but we need to sort it out. Plenty more to come here at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. The Illawarra Hawks and the New Zealand Breakers will be back after this.
As intoxicated persons will be removed from the venue. It is an offence for minors under 18 to purchase, consume or be supplied with alcohol. In the unlikely event of an evacuation, please leave your seats and proceed as directed by venue staff. Remain patient as some queuing is a part of the normal evacuation procedure.
The Snake Pit. This is where the Hawks played their first home game in 1979.
Back then, there were no odds and no multis.
We did everything just for the love of basketball.
But these days, people think having a bet is part of the game.
We disagree.
That's why we've taken a stand and said no to sports betting sponsors.
The action on the court is what makes basketball exciting.
Not having a bet.
So let's forget the odds and be stronger.
Together.
Don't let a bet take you away from the game. Reclaim the game, be gamble aware.
We're bringing back our City Motors Group Mid-Court Mayhem. You've got 24 seconds to score as many points as you can for the ultimate prize, a Hyundai Kona Premium Hybrid. At every home game, one fan will take on the Mid-Court Mayhem Challenge, and the player with the highest season total moves on to the grand final. At our final home game, the top scorer will have one shot to win the car. Pick from 4 designated spots.
I feel like the self-belief comes with sort of knowing who you are, you know, like as a person. And for as long as I can remember, my grandparents, especially my dad's mum, like especially her, she's a Indigenous rights activist. For as long as I can remember, I've been told, like, you know, you're a strong black man, like be proud of your culture, be proud of who you are, because no one can take that from you, no matter how much they try. I don't care what anybody else says, it doesn't matter, like I know who I am. Like, I've proved that to myself in the past, in my juniors, and what I can do in my ability. And no matter who you are, like as long as I keep with it and I do what I know I can do, no one's taking that from me, you know, and that's instilled in me by my grandmothers and who they were, you know. I was raised by them, and that to me is like one of the most powerful things that they could have ever done for me.
Hickey pulls the trigger. Early knockdown is a big one for Will Hickey. Has been enormous all series long. Wow. When you want something bad enough, you'll do anything it takes to make it happen.
That comes with a bit of cockiness, a bit of swagger, a bit of this and that, but regardless of the matter, the fact is I'm here now, you know, and I've always had a vision that I'd be here, and like I said, I'm not letting anybody change that narrative, because it's my narrative. I get to craft it, I get to go down whatever path I want, you know, and that's just my belief.
Will Hickey, part of an Indigenous quartet in the Hawks playing roster, and throwing the assistant coach right there, Joel Kalu, and there is significant representation in the Hawks, and today in the Hawks Indigenous singlet. We'll tell you more about that as the game continues. The only Hawks to score in the second quarter, JaVale McGee with 9, Tyler Harvey with 7, because they were beaten in the second quarter 21-16. Only 2 Hawks found the bucket. Compare that with 6 Breakers to score as they win the second term of the game. So the Breakers with a commanding 52-34 advantage.
And I thought those buckets from Harvey and McGee were a lot of individual brilliance and ISO stuff. The Hawks got to find some team chemistry on this end of the floor.
How do they start the third? It's Harvey for McGee to Peatling. 2 misses for Mason, and he can't get it back. Instead, McGee does. Still they scramble for the ball. What a fight won by Menenga.
Better offense though, Brad.
Yeah. Sums up Sam Menenga's game so far, Brad. Now Baker. Finding Sam Menenga. Put on the floor, showed some good moves and forces the foul on McGee.
Well, Joe asked us at halftime, what does Sam Menenga in New Zealand got to do? And that is it. Pop out, look for the 3. JaVale realises he can shoot it, up fakes and get straight to the hoop and gets him into another foul. So great offense there from New Zealand.
Sam leads all scorers with 14 points.
I think they're just having a look here to see if there's an intentional foul here, unsportsmanlike, because they're just feeling, did he play at the ball because he slapped from behind?
In the meantime, Joe, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Matty. One thing that's interesting to keep an eye on in terms of the Hawks this quarter is that the third hasn't been their best recently. They had 11 points last week. They had 12 in the third in their loss to the Phoenix before that. Their last 3 games has been their lowest scoring quarter. One thing I do love about this team, though, is that they will go to war for each other. They're supportive, but there's tough love as well. JT had some stern words for them at halftime, so expect them to have a strong showing here in the third this game.
Well, putting Will Hickey into the starting lineup in this half is a sign that they want to change the energy significantly and quickly, Brad.
Well, one of the other things I noticed is that some players didn't get on the court at all, and that's something that I thought maybe Wally Bales could have found some minutes. He's done
Harry
some
Froling.
minutes. Yeah, Harry Froling. Yeah, so obviously shortened his lineup. We'll be interested to see what happens in the second half.
Menenga, 3 of 4 at the line for the game. He goes to 15 points for the contest. JaVale McGee.
This is the bit I don't like. Too much dribbling here. Great
Spits
pass,
it out for Harvey to open his account, Brad.
It's just tough basketball to play that for another 20 minutes. It plays into New Zealand's hands.
The Hawks struggled in the first half. Even the scorer's printer went out in sympathy. They ran out of ink. So both teams, they went for the box scores, came away empty. BJC, extra pass, Brockington, Baker fills it up.
Now that's better basketball. And I'm sure you prefer that type of offensive movement as opposed to what you saw in that last possession by Illawarra.
Well, everyone touches it, and they're all moving, so now they're all feeling in sync, and the next play they go again, playing defense. New Zealand are up, and they are ready for this game. They are really looking good and wanting to take this W away.
The Breakers lost their first 4 games of the season, and then they beat the Hawks 117-88. They had another win, their second and only other win against the Jack Jumpers by 17. And coming to this one off consecutive losses against United and the heartbreak against Brisbane. But they're making life tough for Illawarra tonight.
Oh, he's cut.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big, right on his eye there. That's going to hurt.
And that's unlucky. That ball gets deflected out.
Straight away they call for the Hawks doctor.
Well, he just got him straight in the left eye there. He's gone straight down. Blood was pouring out there. You just see it here.
Peatling loses it, and Lopez goes down, and it's head on head. And that's a tough one. He's been performing so well in this basketball game.
Hasn't missed a shot. Derek made all 3, 7 points.
Plus 19.
Yeah. He started like a shot out of a gun. So he's back on his feet, and those facial cuts often look much worse than they actually are.
And I know Menenga and Parker Jackson-Cartwright are the guys that have put the numbers on the board, but when you talk about the driving spirit early in the game, it was Karim Lopez.
It was.
Well, spectacular driving spirit.
Yeah, we saw a cut happen to Jesse Wagstaff a couple of weeks ago in a game, so I'm sure they'll be able to, whether they stitch that up now, because it certainly looked like a couple of stitches, or whether they tape it up, get him back on the court and see the game out.
Just fill it up with Vaseline.
Yeah.
Stop the bleeding and send him back out.
There's some staples somewhere.
Obviously, he'll have to pass any head injury assessment protocols, but if he's good on that front, just a scratch.
Of course, Derek probably never had stitches because he would never go inside the three-point line, but us guards that really played, we had to do that type of thing.
What are you talking about? Had plenty of stitches in my time.
In your stomach, just from running.
But this will be an interesting little phase now without Lopez, and with Hickey starting this half and remaining on the floor. The mobility and athleticism now shifts to the advantage of the Hawks, in my opinion.
Surely the last game when The Breakers went from a 57-point first half into a 26-point second half. Got a big mention at halftime.
Oh, would. You learn from those. They would have watched video. They would have seen everything. And basically, if you're a coach, that they would have gotten to that and said, these are the things we've done wrong. These coaches, they've been here. They've done that. And they would be saying to them now, stick to our game plan. Don't go back to what we did last time.
Which technically makes it even tougher for the Hawks to mount a 20-point comeback. Where does it start, though, Derek, for Illawarra?
Well, if you look at the lineup they have out there now, one of the problems has been continuity this season for Illawarra, but they've got 4 of the guys on the floor right now from last year's championship team, and they played significant minutes, and you add in McGee with those other 4, they should be able to start to do something now, or at least start to find some rhythm that they can carry on into subsequent games.
Carlin Davison shows his athleticism. Beautiful soft finish.
Just another poor closeout. He's rimmed. That's where he wants to be on the rim. He's athletic, and they close out looking for the 3-point shot for him.
He's up to 8 points for the game on 3 of 4 shooting. And there's a strong rebound at the other end. I did wonder at the start of the year what sort of season Carlin Davison could have. Could he mount a breakout campaign? He passes the baton over to Baker.
Well, it's a tough matchup for McGee. Anytime you get in transition like that, as they turn it over, trying to force it into McGee. And one of the problems is if he's not performing on, if McGee's not getting buckets on the offensive end, as we'll have a foul on Sam Anenga, his defense has to lift, and that's McGee I'm speaking of, because on the offensive end, teams will look to exploit him, as now he'll take a seat on the bench.
And that's the closeout I'm talking about there from Davo Hickey. You just got to, every possession, got to play straight there. Another closeout, jumping at nothing, and they knocked the 3 down. Illawarra, the last time they played New Zealand, lost 117-88. If they don't watch out, this is heading this way. New Zealand, in the 4 quarters they played down there, was 30, 30, 27, and 30. So Illawarra have not been able to stop this team in the times they've been playing them. They have to get going on the defensive end as well.
Wani Swakala Bullock did everything but drop the bucket. I'm looking at the ball security from Illawarra. 8 turnovers. It's a particular problem early in the first quarter. And there's Parker Jackson Cartwright making the Hawks pay.
Well, that's about 3 moves in transition already to start this third quarter as we look at the Amy replay, and he's gone left every time. The Sydney Kings struggled with this a couple of years ago. The scout on Parker Jackson Cartwright is you don't let him get on his left hand. And again, he does it then, and the Breakers are in serious command, up 27.
The Hawks Indigenous round singlet on show for everyone, designed by Indigenous artists Glenn Sutherland, proud Wiradjuri man from Orange in the central west of New South Wales. His interpretation of hunting for bunda on country, bunda being kangaroo. I was lucky enough to have something to do with Glenn Sutherland in the early 1990s. My first ever sports story on Glenn Sutherland, the boxer in Orange.
Wow.
He's made his way to the south coast of New South Wales, working in the Indigenous field and doing a great job at his new home.
These singlets have looked amazing. My favourite is Brisbane. I think that just looks amazing. I love what they've done.
Bill Wally Bales, Will Hickey, Kobe McDowell-White, Johnny Narkle, the Indigenous quartet in the Hawks playing roster. Of course, assistant coach Joel Carlu with an Indigenous background as well. They also recognise Lukey Yates and his Maori heritage. So there's much for the Hawks to celebrate until they look at the scoreboard. Down 63-36. And the Hawks proudly state that they are the only club in the league with an Indigenous player on their roster. That's their claim. Wow. And they've got 4 of them. PJC misses at the line. It's a 17-point ball game. Hickey for Harvey. Couldn't shake Baker to get a shot away. And now the scoop, and he draws the foul along the way.
Well, Tyler's getting very frustrated. He feels he's getting whacked, and he is a couple of times, but I just feel Tyler's one of those players, Derek, that when he's frustrated, he's not at his best. And when he's not, you can feel that rhythm and he's shooting, but at the moment, he just feels like he's getting hit, whacked, not called. There's the foul there.
Well, he's a great player, and he's frustrated by the fact that he's unable to impact the game the way he wants to, and did as recently as last season at the highest level. And when you're a great player, you tend to take the burden upon yourself, and the negative side of that is it can lead to pressing and bad decisions when you're trying to play catch-up.
Let's jump into the surgery with Dr. Joe Healy. You've got a health report on Karim Lopez, Joe.
I'll do my best, Matty. Karim is out the back getting the cut above his eye stitched up. I'm told that he is still good to play, so he'll be back out on the court again shortly. Essentially just a small battle scar to show for his efforts, but he's all good.
I mean, we love Joe, but Matty, Dr. Joe might be just stretching her credentials a little bit.
Come on, she's got Google. Leave her alone.
Yeah. Joe surprises me in many areas every time I work with her, and I'm not surprised at all that there's a health update ready and waiting when I seek one. Good news, too, from the doctor. Karim Lopez due back after that eye is stitched.
Well, there's just another poor defensive set by Illawarra here, just not being able to play the defense. Someone's been able to cut behind the head for a layup, and it's just not working at both ends for the moment. Change needs to happen, and needs to happen quick. Derek, I'm going back to a zone. I'm pressing up the court back to the zone. I'm just trying to change something, because at the moment, this is just not enough.
Well, I think New Zealand would invite, as Harvey pulls up from deep, no good, but I think New Zealand would invite playing against the zone because they're 42 from the 3 in this one. And on the other hand, Matty, they're Illawarra 18.
Brockington. Rebound for Menenga to make good.
Sometimes it's just about effort and desire, and it's clear New Zealand want this one as they catch a unfortunate break there. Greta lost it out of bounds, but the foul was blown on Rob Baker.
Menenga right on track for his third double-double of the season. 7 rebounds, 17 points in the bank on 6 of 9 shooting.
Well, I think this is the script for New Zealand's success, right? Your 3 imports producing at a good level. PJC has 11, Brockington has 10, Baker has 12.
Nate Jawai here, of course, the first Indigenous Australian to play in the NBA. All that experience abroad, adding to more than 200 games with Perth and predominantly Cairns. Great to see Nate here, enjoying the NBL and enjoying Carlin Davison. He goes to 8 points. In fact, he's the fifth breaker into double figures for the night. The player of the game in this contest will get the Tyson Demos medal. Tyson, a former Hawk, doing much in the Indigenous field. He and Nate Jawai, special guest today of the Hawks.
It's getting ugly.
Well, the offense for Illawarra is non-existent. It's all one out. Baker, he is shooting the lights out tonight, and he is feeling it and lets everyone in Illawarra know. But Illawarra's offense is really woeful at the moment, Derek, and it is just allowing New Zealand to do whatever they want defensively, then translating into offense.
15 points for Baker on 4 made triples. Another turnover from the Hawks. Oh, wow. And now Parker Jackson-Cartwright just blows past Peterson. Collect the assist because Tavangi was off target.
Now the easy analysis would be to say, with the addition of QJ Peterson, there are some growing pains and some adjustments as we see Carlin Davidson turn the sand pit into his personal gymnasium. Swing on the monkey bars, baby.
18 points to 4 in the second half, in the third quarter, sorry. So yes, in the second half so far.
Well, Bawali Bales has checked in now. He will bring some energy up the floor.
Oh, another TO.
Brockington. And Breeder swats it away. A rare highlight for Hawks fans to applaud.
Carlin Davison, with his athleticism and energy, has been outstanding with 10 points. And Brad, you called for it a few minutes ago. We'll finally see Harry Froling and, of course, Bawali Bales checked in the possession before.
A 19-4 run since the resumption in favour of New Zealand. You don't reckon their last game got a big mention at the halftime break? Have a look at that response. 19-4 out of the big break. Britt Tarangi. Now Baker, the man with the hot hand for the Breakers. And he's called for happy feet.
Well, each time he's tried to post up, it hasn't ended well. And most of the time when he launches a three, it's ended well. So maybe stay out there and just bomb, big fella. You're 4 of 6 from the three.
Well, Coach Copper said, no, come and sit next to me.
Well, that was the worst option of the three.
But he's had a good game.
Matty, what a surprising occurrence here at the Wynn Entertainment Center.
The feeling before the game was one of hype and excitement. Off a 1-point win in Perth, a place to win for the Hawks.
Wow.
With Hickey back, turnover there from Will. With Peterson on board for the first game. The talk was the Hawks had turned the corner, that the pieces were coming back together. They were here to avenge that heavy loss to the Breakers in round 4. It's been quite the contrary.
Well, it's going to take time for Will Hickey to get used to the angles and the timing of the game and the spacing. He hasn't seen this level of intensity in a while. Tarangi throws up a floater.
Well, that was well done by Tarangi.
It's just a training run at this point.
Sam Meninga posted up. He flashes straight to the elbow, but you're right. This is just a training run whatsoever.
Now Dan Greeder, they need some of his energy, the Hawks. 33-point blowout in favour of New Zealand. It's at 35 as we speak.
Well, there's another glaring problem as well. If you look at the number of rim attacks and paint hits off of dribble penetration, it's been significantly high in this third quarter.
Apart from bouncing back from that Brisbane loss, this is really significant for Brisbane. Sorry for the Breakers. They're getting tongue-tied because their last loss was against Brisbane. This big win that they seem destined to rack up will snap a 7-game losing streak on the road.
Well, it could be time to go to some, what we like to call alternate material in the business, Brad.
Yep. And Nenga leaves that one short. Gets the sort of bounce you expect to go Sam's way tonight and makes good second time around. So one, if they go on to win big, which they look like doing, the Breakers will snap that runabouts on the road, 7 straight, trolling short. Just at the right time, they play Adelaide in Christchurch next Thursday. Trolling can't score but draws a whistle. Then they're on the road for 4 straight. So the Breakers are about to go to Sydney, to Brisbane, to Perth, to Cairns. You don't reckon a road win of significance tonight will boost their confidence before that tough streak?
Well, I think it'd be fair to say that at the beginning, there it is right there. You'd say at the beginning of the season, I, for one, did not see New Zealand being in the position they're in right now. They had PJC, Brockington had a great pre-season. You knew Meninga was going to go. Derek, I don't know about you, I felt they'd be better, and maybe this is the turn they needed.
Well, you know, I referred to it earlier. They had 4 close losses this season already in New Zealand. You know, if even 2 of those go in the opposite direction and in their favor, this season has a different complexion as Froling misses 2 from the charity stripe.
So the foul called on Britt. Conversely, the Hawks, they lost their first 3 games. Then they've had a little bit of everything. A big win against Brisbane here, a huge loss against South East Melbourne, a 1-point thriller in Perth. I don't know off the back of this scoreline now at 37 points down what to make of Illawarra right now.
But Brett, that statement that Matty just made is symbolic of this big middle class that we have in the NBL, where Do you think you have any idea who's going to win tomorrow between Brisbane and Sydney?
Nope. No, you're right. That's exactly, it's Jekyll and Hyde. Take Melbourne out of the equation. Everyone else, you don't know what it is. And this team is travelling to Adelaide in 48 hours that just took an L against Melbourne, who I thought they played well against Melbourne
Matty,
as well.
these coaches are trying to figure out, how does our team play best? What style of basketball suits us? And when you throw in, some physical problems that certain teams have as well, and some import changes, we've had a high volume import change season to start. That's why we're getting these results that are so hard to predict.
Except Melbourne. No changes, been the same way, play, they've been tremendous.
9-0 on top of the table. Bolden scores much-needed points for the Hawks, who tonight start a tough run. This is the first of 4 games in 8 days. They're in action against the Breakers, followed by a trip to Adelaide Sunday, Melbourne here next Wednesday, the first Championship Series rematch, and then they're at Cairns the following Friday. 4 games in 8 days. You don't see that often at this stage of the season.
It's a great time to get hot, get 3 or 4 season changes quickly.
But they're anything but hot in their first game of that run. Blanchfield. Nice from the veteran, Todd Blanchfield.
Needed that one.
Derek, we've been talking a lot about offenses throughout the league, and the one thing that has really gone away a lot for me is sets. There's just teams, it's a lot of one out. It's like this, getting the ball down low, you make it or you don't make it. In that case, you make it, but I don't see, it's a lot of on balls. I don't see where they go, right, let's run this set one side to the other, get the other, set the screen. Look at 4 players here, or 3 players from Illawarra just standing around, launch the screen. Now, if it drops, it's great, but if it's not, it's just playing in. But it's not just Illawarra at all, it's other teams, and I'm just wondering, do we need to get back to this?
Well, I think what you say is valid, and certainly there are times for reflection upon how teams play and what pace they decide to play at. Parker Jackson Cartwright is playing at his own pace out here.
The travel called on Isaiah Leartha. Can I go back to Sam Menenga, who scored the most recent bucket for the Breakers? It's his 3rd double-double of the season now. He's camped on 21 points and 11 rebounds. His season highs are 29 points against South East Melbourne round 4 and 12 rebounds against Sydney in round 3.
You just picked up his stats there, 21. He is a plus 30, 21 points that is. He is a plus 31 in tonight's game. A plus 31. That is massive.
For the 2nd time this season, young Sam Menenga looks JaVale McGee in the eyes and says, I got you, NBA veteran. As we hit 3/4 time after a dominant 3rd period from the Breakers. It is 44 Hawks, 79 New Zealand. Karim Lopez patched up and ready to go again in the final term, coming your way after this.
It's time for the CNG Midcourt Mayhem next to our great mates at City Motors Group. Someone will win a brand new Hyundai Kona Premium Hybrid at the end of the season.
That's right. Now, the CFD Midcourt Mayhem players can choose from 4 designated spots to take their shots, and there are bonus prizes. Everyone could win $500 cash on the spot if they make a half-court shot or hit 3 3-pointers during their 20.
All right, this is Grant. This is Ivy. Are you ready, Grant? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go, Grant.
Let's make some noise for Grant.
500. That's all.
Oh, he said that in the next year, but that's okay. He's going. He's going.
It's looking good.
Getting his eye in.
Come on, Grant. Let's go closer. 9, 8, 7, 6,
5, 4,
Well, it's a demolition at the moment with the Breakers leading the Hawks 79-44 with a quarter to play. Justin Tatum urging his guys to toughen up. He was not happy. He said, we are playing for pride from here on in, so if you've not got any, you can stay seated.
They're playing for pride, they're playing for some sort of hope against Adelaide, in Adelaide on Sunday. They've just been kept to their lowest scoring quarter of the season. Just 10 points in the third quarter. Ruben Tarangi goes to work on Blanchfield and misses. Derek Rucker, you've been surveying the carnage of the box scores. What do you got for us?
Well, the 10 points coupled with New Zealand's 27 has really, oh my, has really just blown this game out. On top of that, Maddie, they had 7 turnovers. They went 4 of 17 from the field, including 0 of 6 from the three-point line. One of the worst quarters we've seen from an NBL team this season.
Unbelievable.
Karim Lopez.
Good to see him back.
Shot the 3-ball nonchalantly, just left it a little short. Big start to the game if he joined us late from Karim Lopez. He's sitting on 7 points, 3 of 4. Now PJC finds a way through Liafa to Baker. And Baker with a miss. Rob Baker, 15 points for the game. He's 4 of 8 now from outside.
He's been very good, and it appears that he is finding a way to contribute to basketball games. Past 2 or 3 weeks, much improved.
Peterson, the new boy. You'll be wondering what he's walked into right now. Harvey to miss. And Lopez above them all. Wollongong crowd sitting hushed watching this demolition by the Breakers. Ruben Tarangi. And finally, it's Baker making good. Swaka Bullock can't score. Big Friday double-header coming your way tomorrow as the foul is forced on Parker Jackson Cartwright. You said earlier, Derek, how can you pick a winner in Brisbane, Sydney?
Come on, Matty, you're trying to get me in trouble. I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
How you can pick a winner in Tasmania and Cairns so confidently? Surely nobody can, Brad.
Well, Derek made it quite obvious to Adam Ford that there's no way that they are getting a win in Tasmania tomorrow.
I just think the structure and the way the jack jumpers play as Blanchfield launches from deep to no avail, and another foul in transition. I just think Tasmania's structure, Brad, especially coming off of a disappointing loss against the Perth Wildcats.
And what about if it's Will Magnay's, who is game time decision? If he doesn't play, does that make a difference to you? Being that it's Jack McVeigh's return to Tasmania?
May have slipped my mind, that aspect, Brad. But you know how Tasmania get down after a loss. We rarely see them lose 2 games in a row at home. And Cam's right now really struggling on the defensive end.
But we have seen when you've done some things how that can fire up players or teams. So, Cans.
I wish I had that type of influence.
You know you do, and you love it.
Here's Baker. How high can the Breakers go? Liafa.
Wani Swakala-Bullock's had a good shooting start to the season, but he's on a goose egg here.
Swakala-Bullock spin move in the face of Karim Lopez.
See, look how much you've got, Terry. He just called for it. It dropped.
Nice move there by Swakala-Bullock.
81-46. This performance begs the question, are the Breakers a better team than plenty of people are giving them credit for? There's Karim Lopez adding the exclamation mark where I left the question mark.
Well, I love the question, Matty, but we do this every weekend where we say yes and no, and then the next time a team is not playing, and we've seen that with every team in this league. And again, I take out Melbourne, where you think, right, this is the step. Illawarra go to Perth. They get a fantastic win, and they come here and get demoralised on their home court. And that's a goaltending there. But
well, one thing that helps, Brad, in our sport and in our league, when you have a star player like Parker Jackson Cartwright, who can be so threatening on any given night. Now, I thought he was going to score more, and had the game stayed closer, he probably would have tried to score more, but he's got 11 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds, and he's a plus 28 out there.
He's been great the whole time, really picked his moments. I agree with you that the way this game has proposed to him, he didn't need to.
Lopez found Liatha. Liatha, none of 3 shooting tonight. Barely above 30% shooting for the season. And Mason Peatling deposits for the Hawks.
You mentioned, you know, New Zealand. I think the only thing that can be a little bit critical of New Zealand is their bench. They haven't been able to perform at the levels that I think they would be expecting them. So it's very reliant on their 3 imports and Meninga. Tonight, 13 points off the bench for their team. And it's really not enough if you want to advance. You look at the best teams in the league at the moment, they go so deep as Davo Hickey with another turnover.
Interesting stat at the bottom of the screen there. 69 points is the lowest Hawks total under Justin Tatum. Came round 8 of the 2023 or 2024 season, that'd be, Peatling against New Zealand. So Tatum's having a few nightmares against the Breakers. Beaten by 27 points by them earlier this season. Kept to a low score back in 2023, and now on the end of a hiding at 85-52.
As Lopez shows off his much improved 3-point stroke. It's gotten smoother, and he's been much more effective this season shooting the ball from deep.
88-52, timeout call. There's a lot to discuss on the Hawks bench.
All right, Hawkins, it's time for the Choice Hotel Fan. We want to see how you get the energy. So show us those signs, Jude.
What's it like for a professional basketball player like a Hawk right now, confronting this scenario, playing poorly on the end of a big score, and with another game, a tough game coming in less than 48 hours?
It's awful. It's awful, Matty. That's as simple as it is, and all you want to do now is end this game. You'll be starting to think about Sunday, and you'll also be starting to think, that man right there, what he's going to be able to talk about for the next 48 hours, because Justin Tatum is not a happy coach when he loses. So they are going to come in, and they're going to be ready on Sunday, but they're going to come up against an amazing team in Adelaide.
Yeah, well, right now you're just thinking about what's the next meeting going to look like. You know, there's going to be a lot of ire, and some honest truths have to come out at this time.
So the crowd hoping for a big finish. 5.5 left at the Sandpits. Adelaide will be watching this game very closely, because the next stop for both of these teams is Adelaide. There's the games coming your way tomorrow. Jack Jumpers, Taipans into Bullets against the Kings. So there's some teams there who need to find their way, who love to rack up an impressive victory like the Breakers have done. But just back to Adelaide, that's where the Hawks play on Sunday, and then Adelaide travel to Christchurch as the next stop for the Breakers next Thursday. Hickey gives us a little glimpse into those championship springs.
Little fake there. Kareem Lopez just rose a little bit, and that was enough for Davo Hickey to take a bounce and throw it down.
Joe, what are the Breakers talking about at the moment?
Absolutely no surprises. They want to keep building this lead, keep the intensity up. We know how crucial points percentage can be at the end of the season, as Maxi Darling knocks that one down. So they're looking to make the most of this opportunity here, guys.
Darling knows his floor. He spent a season as an Illawarra Hawk in 2021. Peterson, it goes through Hickey, Peatling. His shot jumps away.
Well, that is 2 of 20 from the three-point line for the Hawks tonight. 11 of 30 for New Zealand.
New Zealand's highest score of the season, 117, in that 27-point win against the Hawks. I think I said 29 a moment ago. It was 27. My calculator broke down. Peterson. No. Narkle. No. So Johnny Narkle getting some more burn, having delivered big time against Brisbane, his only previous NBL appearance. started with a dunk, then forced a turnover, including a 3 as well. 5 points on 100% shooting. Nice cameo. He comes on today in tougher conditions.
Look at the Amy replay, and Hickey's isolated against Lopez, gets him to shift and hits him with a pocket dribble, and we know he's a great 1-foot jumper. Elevates, sticks it with 2. And that's the highlight of the game for the Illawarra Hawks, as Salmon Nenga is probably done for the night.
I know it's been a tough night for the Hawks, but I'll jump on this stat. Against Brisbane in round 4, Illawarra became the first NBL club to have 3 Indigenous players on the floor at the same time. Bill Wally Bales, Johnny Narkle, and now we've got Will Hickey out there again, so they've done that. They've achieved that again. It was Kobe McDowell-White, the other man, back in round 4. Haven't seen Kobe yet tonight, and we won't, but again, they've achieved that. 3 Indigenous players on the floor, having done it for a league first in history back in round 4.
New Zealand starting to clear the bench. Sean Bairstow will get some court time. Someone who's lost some minutes recently after showing promising signs last season, and then in the blitz in the preseason, falling out of the rotation the past couple of weeks.
Hickey scores. Look, good minutes tonight for QJ Peterson. More than 20 minutes, absolutely no restrictions, only fresh off the plane. Didn't get clearance until midway through today. It's been a long trip from the Dominican Republic, avoiding Hurricane Melissa, so give him some credit that gets through so much game time first up.
Yeah, well, he's shown some promise. He was 1 of 9, to be expected that he didn't shoot it well. 1 of 6 from deep.
Hickey for Pete.
Well, you got to try and look for positives if you're Illawarra, and obviously the first one is the fact that they have got Davo out. He's played a number of minutes tonight, going on to about 25 minutes.
Down 37. If you can find some positives, you're a magician.
Well, we're looking for 1 or 2 there, Derek, but thank you. Appreciate that. I'll go with his 6 assists. So,
Bairstow scores.
I think it just gets miles under his leg, and that's the thing that he needs right now, and that's why he's been left in the game. Just get those miles, go into Adelaide, see what you can get, but there's not a lot to take out of it, that's for sure.
Here he is, muscling his way to mid-range, but missing. And Will Hickey going past the 25-minute mark on return as well. So both players told to get some run in their legs. Bales. "90 seconds left. How many highlights can the Hawks give these crowd?"
I think the season low this season is 60, Matty.
Well, we'll get another shot at it. Can the Breakers raise the ton alternatively? Bales misses. It comes down for Lopez. Darling. Does he pull up again? Yes, sirree. Bang! 100 on the board. Max Darling, the former Hawk, says, let's post triple figures. Nice cameo for Darling. 2 shots, both made 3s. 6 points for the game.
Replay center going to have a look at that one. I thought it should have been New Zealand basketball. I think it will stay. Colin Mayberry waiting. Got the all clear. Illawarra basketball. Nope, I was right. You looked at me like I was crazy.
Not for the first time.
The Hawks' lowest ever score in Wollongong under Justin Tatum, 77. Game 3 of last year's championship series. Remembering the last home game the Hawks played here, they put 116 on the Bullets. That was round 4. Last year they racked up 100 points with their eyes closed at home.
60 is the lowest for the season, is that what we said?
Now Bill Wiley bails. There's 2 more to get to that mark, to get to 60 for the season.
Darling and Sam Frolling have a few words. I don't think either of them would back down there, Derek.
Good refereeing, informed them of the amount of time left in the game. No need to be crazy.
Final seconds here. Nice.
Good
Ersto. There is a peculiar stat going around. The teams that have scored at least 29 points in the first quarter, so 29 or more, are going to be 14-0 for the season. So there's something to chase. Get to 29 or above, and you will win according to the numbers this season. That is the equal lowest score by any NBL team this season. Tough night out for Justin Tatum and the Hawks. A great evening for the Breakers. Beaten by 1. Last start against Brisbane. Their second half collapsed the storyline. They come out and own this one from the tip.
Well, a great defensive effort by New Zealand, restricting Illawarra to only 26 points in the second half, and continuing to execute and take advantage of turnovers by Illawarra and punish them on the fast break. And transition basketball, transition offense by New Zealand was outstanding.
You put on your whiteboard, Derek, that New Zealand had to come out hard, and they won the first quarter 31-18, 16-6 in the first 5 minutes. To me, that's where the ball game was won and lost. They established what they wanted. They told Illawarra, we're here for a ball game, and that was it. And then it just gradually got better and better. An outstanding game of basketball for New Zealand coming into a very hostile venue.
An outstanding game from Sam Meninga. 21 points, 11 rebounds. He had plenty of support on the scoring front. Rob Baker was feeling it tonight. 19 points on 7 of 11, including 4 of 8 from outside. The other men to be in double figures in no particular order: Isaiah Brockington, Parker Jackson Cartwright, Carlin Davison, and Karim Lopez, who really was part of the fast start. Parker Jackson Cartwright probably playing in reserve a little bit as the lead blew out, but they shot the ball above 50%. They left a few points out there, especially at the line. But there's a lot to like about the Breakers tonight, Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. I've got Sam Meninga with me. He just walked over and said, is it me? Am I the Foot Locker player of the game? You certainly are. Amazing effort out there. A massive turnaround from last week as well. How were you able to control the game?
Yeah, I think we just really focused on piecing together like 4 quarters, and that's the first time this season we've done it, and everyone's really happy about it.
3 wins for the season. 2 of them have come against the Hawks. What is it about this matchup that you like so much?
We like pace, we like speed, and we like the matchup.
Big impact from the bench guys as well. What can you say about their effort tonight? Even Maxi with those 2 threes at the end.
Yeah, it's massive. We're going to need that all season, and it's huge to get those guys like rolling, get their confidence going, so it's great.
Sound like you've lost your voice, but congrats on the win. Go save it, and good luck for Thursday against the 36ers.
Thanks, Joe.
Sam Meninga, front and centre of the Breakers' biggest ever win against the Hawks. The previous mark, 34 in 2019. Talk to me about Sam Meninga, who's filled his boots in both games against Illawarra.
Well, he took advantage of space that was provided to him by the Hawks' defensive problems with matchups, and he knocked down his first 3 ball, and I thought that got him off and going. His confidence was up, then he got on the rim, and look, I said it in the pregame, Brad, this is a guy that is very balanced on the offensive end. He can step out and knock down threes. He's got a good back to the basket game, and he can face up and get on the rim. He's a very smart and good basketball player, a valuable asset for New Zealand.
In 2 games against the Hawks, 41 points, 19 rebounds combined.
Yeah, he's really just gone to another level this year, and I'm not a huge plus-minus guy, but you look at the way he played tonight. He was plus 32. Isaiah Brockington was plus 30. Rob Baker plus 25, and then you go Karim Lopez plus 26. Just a brilliant game.
Not being a big plus-minus guy, you just reel them all off.
Well, I just feel the way they just came out from the word go, and they really were fantastic. And now Joe's got Isaiah Brockington with her now.
I do indeed. We're just noting the fact that the Breakers had 6 players in double figures. Just talk to me about how much of a team effort this was.
Yeah, this was a complete team win. I'm really proud of the guys. We put together 4 quarters of good basketball. It started off with our intensity and us just sharing the ball. That whole first quarter, we felt like we were getting to the paint, getting some good kickouts, extra passes, and making shots.
You told me before the game that you were feeling good, that you felt like you had this one. When did you know during the game that this was it?
The third quarter. I would say the first half, but we've had good first halves before. But when we came out with the same intensity, when we really came out and got that first stop, when we knew they were going to come out really intense, playing hard, they got like 3-4 offensive boards, and we just kept fighting and scrapping and ended up with that stop. I felt like that was really big, and that set the tone for the rest of the game. So yeah, the third quarter.
You've got the 36ers at home on Thursday. What are your early thoughts on that one coming up against Bryce & Co?
Yeah, it's a tough one for sure. They got a really good team. It's everything goes through Bryce. Everything starts with Bryce. So yeah, pretty much just chasing him around, throw off his rhythm, make sure Humphreys doesn't go off, and then just kind of contain everybody else, make everybody else do it.
Congrats on the win tonight and good luck for that one.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Well done, Isaiah Brockington. Well done, the Breakers. It was as if the Hawks adopted the Halloween theme tonight, because Freddie Kruger has taken to the stat sheet. The box score has blood all over it when it comes to the Illawarra Hawks.
Yeah, and we're looking at Isaiah Brockington. He did a really good job. Don't let the stats fool you. When the game was to be decided in the first half, he had critical buckets in transition. He created for his teammates, and I thought he did a tremendous job on reducing Tyler Harvey. Harvey never got going on the offensive end. In fact, he finished 2 of 12 from the field.
His plus or minus would have been good then, yeah, Derek?
The Hawks lost every quarter. They didn't score more than 18 in any quarter. At one stage, they were kept to 10 points in the third quarter. Making sense of it after the break, Joe Healy, Derek Rucker and Brad Rosen. Stay with us. You're watching Hungry Jacks NBL.
Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. It's Indigenous round. The New Zealand Breakers. Look at that score at the top left of the screen. 102 winners over the defending champions Illawarra Hawks as 60. What a game that we're about to wrap up here. I'm Joe Healy, Brad Rose and Derek Rucker with me. Matty said it before we went to the break there, guys. How do you make sense of that?
You can't. Look at that scoreline. That is not incorrect. No, it is not Halloween, although it actually is. 102 to 60. Just everything New Zealand did tonight worked. Illawarra, they've got some soul searching to do, and they've only got 48 hours to do it, Derek.
And it's interesting, Brad, when we looked at the box score, New Zealand were in the lead this game for 39 minutes and 38 seconds.
Wow.
There was never a lead change, which is exceptionally rare to see in a game of basketball. Utter domination by the New Zealand Breakers, and it started on the defensive end, and on the offensive the execution was spectacular.
Yeah, they held the Illawarra Hawks to the equal lowest score of the season for a game, which is quite remarkable so far this season from what we've seen. Talk me through this Breakers side. Obviously, Sam Menenga, player of the game, but it was a real team effort out there.
It was, and this is something we've been hoping we would see from New Zealand because all the starters really came in and did their job. You look at Sam, I thought PJC probably played his best game today, and I know Derek really wanted him to be aggressive, but he actually didn't need it to be, and at times he just seemed to be cruising out there, but in a good way. Karim Lopez, another special night from him.
And I thought Rob Baker was really good also with his three-point shooter, but Karim Lopez was the one that got them going in terms of their energy and their motivation. He had his hands extended and out in the lanes. He was able to create some easy opportunities. Then he got his floater going. But Brad, what I really like about him is that he's gone away and worked on his three ball. His stroke looks a lot better, but this stuff right here, that's the type of action that is transferable to the NBA. He will be a role player in the NBA, and they want to see if you can make the difficult nose to the ball plays, but also have the skill to step out and shoot the three ball.
It's those effort plays that he really has improved on over the course of the last season. Playing against grown men obviously has that impact on you. Let's take a look at the Mitsubishi Motors ladder as well. Plenty of changes there, guys.
Well, I look at the Hawks down the bottom there. That's just a loss they didn't need to take. Melbourne United, they've raced off. But look at the pack in between there. Okay, Phoenix 36ers, the games that are coming up. Oh, Derek, that's just so mouthwatering. Look at that. Unbelievable.
Well, you got that Bullets, Kings, Breakers mix right there with all those teams trying to scrap and get as many wins as they can before the upcoming FIBA break. The Bullets versus the Kings is massive for just solidifying and perhaps getting one up on the other.
Are the Taipans going to finish at the bottom of the season, Derek? I'm asking you because you've been all about the hate so far.
Well, I think they've got some personnel problems that they got to work through, so at the moment, yes.
All right, well, they're in action against the Tassie Jack Jumpers tomorrow. That is it from the Wollongong Entertainment Centre. Thanks for your company. It's the Breakers, massive winners over the Hawks. We'll see you next time.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Yeah. You happy, Nick?